Welcome, welcome. I'm Susan Roberti, and let's talk tail waggers. I have another absolutely wonderful show. You're going to learn a lot, love a lot, and I think that's what Let's Talk Tail Waggers is all about. But before we get started, I want to say thank you to my cameraman. Thank you, Dave. You know, BPTV is all volunteers, and you are more than welcome to come up and do a show, learn how to do camera, and that's lots of fun, and we really do need people to come for that. If you'd like to go out on a shoot or help us, or just stop up, visit, and see the wonderful little corner of the world of the Pulse of Bethel Park, you're more than welcome. Always know if you want to do a show, if you have a dream about doing a show, BPTV is the place to be. So now I'm going to introduce the Echo Dog. It's unbelievable. Welcome to Let's Talk Tail Waggers. Your
Hello.
name is?
My name is Ginny Hayes.
And your friend?
Llewellyn Emery.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm the foster coordinator for Echo Dogs, and we are a breed-specific rescue. We only rescue white shepherds.
And I did not know that there were white shepherds for real. That they were. I've heard of the black shepherds, and I didn't know that they were registered. Are the white shepherds registered, or is
The AKC does not actually recognize the white German shepherds. They consider the white coat to be a fault.
Oh.
So you can only register them as what the AKC calls PAL, which is a purebred alternative listing.
Wow. Isn't it amazing how they can just say no for this and yeah for that? And they're beautiful. How did you get started in this? This really intrigues me.
I adopted my first white shepherd 30-some years ago from Animal Friends when they were still located in the Strip District.
Wow.
And I just happened to see one there, and it's been my breed of choice ever since.
Wow. Wow. How many had yours personally?
My personal shepherds. This is Bear. This is my current
Love.
my current white shepherd. I have had 4
Oh.
in the course of 30 years.
Wow. Wow. Now, are they easy to train?
I would say yes.
I would say
think they're
yes.
very intelligent breed.
I think they are too.
All of my shepherds have come from one rescue or another.
Oh. Now, how do you get them? Tell me, how did they come to you? Do they come from a different state or just Pennsylvania?
June came from Georgia,
Wow.
and Bear came from Virginia.
Now, how did she get here from Georgia?
Well, Echo Dogs operates all along the East Coast and into the Midwest. So we have foster homes from Florida all the way up to Maine. We have a foster home in Maine. And we go out to the Midwest. We have a strong presence in Illinois, Indiana. We have someone in Nebraska.
Wow. Now, did they drive her up here?
They transport, and we have Echo Dogs has been around since like 1999. We have a pretty strong volunteer base. We use Pilots and Paws a lot, and we have volunteer drivers who typically drive anywhere from 1 to 2 hours for a leg.
And then they meet. And then
We meet in gas stations and rest areas, and
isn't it wonderful, huh?
you know, by the side of the road.
Yeah, it brings. I think stuff like that really brings the best out of people. You know, really.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who can't adopt, or you know, they're not in a position to help in any other way, except for volunteer transport drivers, and we would not exist without those volunteers. It is definitely a group effort.
Well, that's the way I am. I'm unable to have the pup dogs anymore. I can't work at the any of the humane societies because I just get ready to be put into the nut house, you know, with sadness and grief and all that kind of stuff. So by doing my show, I really feel like I am helping. And it's
Absolutely.
and somebody coming and driving for a couple of hours, to meet somebody and another person. That is the kindness in somebody's heart to do that is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Now, what made them decide that she should come up here?
June is heartworm positive, so she has to undergo heartworm treatment, which most of the dogs that we pull from the southern states have heartworm disease.
Aww.
And heartworm disease is so easily preventable. It's
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you just use HeartGuard once a month, every month, all year round. Heartworms are transmitted by mosquitoes, and both Bear and June. Well, Bear's already been treated, obviously, but they were heartworm positive. I take a lot of heartworm positive dogs. We determine where our dogs go based on their status. Heartworm treatment is not, we can't send any dogs to New England because New England has made it illegal to transport heartworm positive dogs across their borders. So
It's amazing. See all the rules? Wow. Now, can they, if they have this, and when you adopt them, can you have another dog in the house with them?
oh yeah, heartworm disease is not. I have 5 dogs.
Okay, so it doesn't get passed
So
on.
yeah, it's not transferable from dog to dog, really. But
And what about the medicine? Is there anything that's going to help them?
yeah, heartworm treatment. I do heartworm treatment at my vet, which is Brush Run Veterinary Clinic, which is they're a phenomenal vet. They have worked with me very closely for the last 7 years. I've had 29 fosters come through my house. So we all,
Oh, my
a
Lord.
good portion of them were heartworm positive. I think 7, 8 were heartworm positive. The heartworm treatment, on average, it costs approximately $1,000. Here, and depending on where you go, like in New York, it costs us almost $2,000.
Wow.
So that's why we try to send
does
our heartworm
that-
positive dogs to the most economical place for us.
Does that cure them? Or does
Yes,
Oh.
It's a 3-month.
Oh.
It's a
Oh,
3-month
good news.
process. So you have to do the Heartworm Association, Heartworm Society has a protocol, but it involves doxycycline, which is an antibiotic that they have before they have their treatment. Then there's a drug called imidacide, and it's a series of 3 shots over 2 months that will kill the adult worms. It is. It's an arsenic-based drug, and it's very, very tough on the dogs.
I was going to just say.
So
Yeah.
we have never lost a dog going through heartworm treatment, but it is possible. They have to be on crate rest, very restricted activity during treatment because the worms break up in the heart, and the body will eventually absorb them, but when they're breaking up in their pieces, it could cause a blockage and embolism.
Yeah.
So.
There are so many things, but let's hope you've never lost one, have
No.
you? Well,
I don't think Echo Dogs has ever lost one.
Yeah,
And
what it just totally amazes me, and I guess they found these little guys, Roman.
we pull them. 99% of our dogs all come from high kill shelters. So we get them out of the shelter before they're euthanized, and we try to work with shelters. If it's a no-kill shelter and a dog is there and it's safe, it's not so critical. But a lot of shelters, if 72 hours, if a dog is not adopted, they'll euthanize it.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because they're just loaded with dogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know. So it's a push me, pull me thing for me. Because I think life is life. But then I think if it's going to spend 2 years in a cage, sometimes then they get cage crazy and whatever. But I don't imagine that these guys would ever last very long anywhere.
They get euthanized every day.
Aww.
Every day, shepherds are getting euthanized.
Now there's
Shepherds do not do well in a kennel environment typically.
No, they're too intelligent. Huh? Yeah, I know that. I know. So you get your heart broken. Shepherds do. They have to. I adore shepherds, and they have to love somebody, and have somebody to take care of and love. And they don't do well. They
No.
really don't. They want to be with somebody.
But they
if,
want a job.
yeah.
They're a lot of them are very.
Oh, now if someone wants to get in touch with you,
We have our website is echodogs.org. We are on Facebook. If you do a search on Facebook for Echo Dogs White Shepherd Rescue, we have 2 pages on Facebook. One is a group page where adopters will post updates about their dogs. Fosters will post updates about their dogs that are currently in foster. We use hashtags for all of our foster dogs so that people can click on that hashtag and follow the progress of just one individual dog if they're interested. So.
And this lady beside you is
This is Llewellyn. She's my partner in crime. She does long transports with me. We just drove to. We did what turned out to be a 14-hour transport.
Wow.
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple days after Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, a couple days after
Wow.
Christmas.
Wow.
So she shares the driving with me when we go. I drive further. I'm the foster coordinator. I oversee all of the dogs. I drive a lot further than our average volunteers do.
well, I guess if you're the boss, sometimes you got to check on what's going on.
I'm not the boss. We have a president, a vice president,
Oh.
but our president lives in New Hampshire.
Oh.
Our vice president, her name's Terry DeMag, and our vice president, Laura Cox, lives in Chicago.
And this is the lady that you told me that she got a foster and ended up keeping it.
That would be Llewellyn. She is a failed foster.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
I
it.
am.
I loved that when you said that to me on the phone. I thought, oh, poor.
Yeah, dog rescue where failure is an option.
Oh.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, so she now has 2 shepherds, so she's her house is full, no more room, but she still volunteers with driving and should I let you talk? She works at AAA, so she promotes.
Oh, okay.
She has our flyers up there for anyone who asked about the pictures of the white shepherds on her desk.
Yes.
And yeah, so you don't, it's such an important aspect to have all the different volunteers. We need the adopters, but we need foster homes, we need transport drivers, we need vets that are willing to work with us and give us rescue discounts, which is Brush Run does a fabulous job with that. And yeah, so it's definitely a team effort. We have people who we never take a dog out of a shelter that is human aggressive. We just don't have the foster homes that are equipped to
handle
work
those.
on behavioral issues. Our foster homes, which we desperately need, like all rescues, we always desperately need foster homes. Our foster homes are to get the dog healthy. We pay for all vetting for all of our foster dogs.
Oh.
So there's no expense to a foster home. We can pay for everything that is in direct care of the dog.
Did you hear that? Make sure you understand that if you do become a foster parent, that if anything is wrong, you won't be responsible for paying for the vet bill. Is that correct?
That's correct. We pay. We usually call in a credit card to the vet, and the vet bills us directly. We pay for food. We pay for heartworm prevention. We pay for flea and tick
Did you
prevention.
hear this? They pay for the food.
Yeah. So we. I mean, anything that's direct care of the dog.
Yes.
Now we suggest. Bear's got the itchies in the winter heat. Anything in direct care of the dog, we pay for. We unfortunately don't have the resources to buy a crate for every single foster home.
Yeah.
But we always recommend crate training. As my role as a foster coordinator is to be in touch with I'm available to all of our foster homes, no matter what state they're in,
Wow.
24/7.
Wow.
So, I mean, if there's an emergency and they need to call me at 3 in the morning, they will call me at 3 in the morning. But I'm there to walk them through every step of the fostering experience. Now, when you foster one of our dogs,
You're okay, little baby.
once the dog is healthy, and we look to our fosters to not we're not looking for high obedience, but, we want the dog to learn how to live in a home, learn how to walk on a leash.
Exactly.
Just the
Exactly.
basic house manners. And then we want all of our foster dogs to be in foster for a minimum of 2 weeks. They're usually longer, but it's a minimum of 2 weeks. We tell people when a dog comes out of a shelter environment, you will not see the true personality of the dog for 2 to 3 weeks.
I would imagine.
It needs to decompress. It needs to. You might have a dog that you bring home from a shelter today, for example, who pays no attention to your cat whatsoever, and you think, oh, this is a cat-friendly dog, and then once it settles in, and 2 to 3 weeks later, no, it might look like a moving dog toy. So we want the fosters to get a true sense of the personality of the dog. When the foster feels the dog is ready, and we've worked with that foster, then we will post flyers or start advertising the dog as available for adoption. And once we do that, people will apply. We have, hopefully a list of applicants that are ready to adopt. And the foster home gets to look at the evaluations and then contact different potential adopters. And the foster home gets the final decision on what home they think is the best suited for that dog. Our ultimate goal, we transport so many miles. We transported over 55,000 miles last year.
Lord.
We want to, if we're going to transport a dog from Florida to New Hampshire, we want to make sure it's a good fit. It's a good fit for the dog. It's a good fit for the family. That's our ultimate goal.
And I think sometimes if for whatever reason that the dog ended up in the shelter, if might be because their master died or
we've had those.
Whatever.
We've had dogs that are there because they got new carpeting.
Yeah, I believe that.
So
I do.
It's
But what I really feel bad is when they're very attached to their owner and then they're taken away from them and taken here and placed there, and when they come to the foster home, they're going to be heartbroken. And I don't care what anybody feels. I call it being heartbroken because they've traveled, they're taken away, they don't understand, and they sit and wait for their owners to come. And sometimes people don't understand that. It does take a dog a while because of their loyalty to sit and wait. And you have to be patient to understand that he's sitting and waiting for his master.
Right.
And the more that you work with them, the more you talk with them, pet them, walk them, let them know that you want to enter in there, and help them,
Right.
then the happier they are. But I think that's one of the things that people that go down to the Humane Society and get a dog and bring it
Yeah.
home, and they expect it, to be wonderful, or sit on your lap or whatever. Sometimes they'll just go and sit by the door and wait,
right.
and because they're waiting for their owner, and you just have to be patient.
Definitely patience. It's dogs always. They're always under stress when they're in a kennel environment for whatever reason, however they came to be there. So we try to get evaluators who go in and recognize like the triggers for a dog. To get a true evaluation, you have to take all those factors into consideration.
Right.
There are some dogs that really, I think I could put Bear in a kennel for probably a couple weeks and he'd be okay. He is a very even-tempered dog, and he's very calm.
When he trusts you that you're going to come back too.
Right.
And
some dogs just totally freak out in a kennel environment. You have to be able to look through that to.
And you have to know that if you're going to get a pet, which it's a lifetime.
It is a lifetime commitment.
And really, that is why everyone has been saying to me, the way you love dogs, they come up to you, and I do. I pine for one. But I can't handle them anymore. I can't take care of them anymore. And the basics to me is that's how you really love them, by knowing that it's just not right. So I am doing kitties now.
There you go.
Because I can handle those. But doggies, you have to understand, you just don't go and get them and bring them home, and they've been on this earth for 6 weeks and expect them to know everything, and be on this earth for 3 months and even know 6 months.
Yeah.
It takes a human baby how long? And they are. They're just like a little human baby.
I think people who are in the market to adopt a dog need to do some research before they go. For example, our white shepherds shed a lot. A whole lot. So, yeah, the dollar store sells us lint rollers. We all have them in our
We
cars.
should own stock in the company.
Yeah, in our car.
And you know
all
what else
around.
really works wonderful?
Duct
The
tape.
Static Guard.
Oh,
I groomed dogs. I had my own business, like I told you, for 28 years. And in the wintertime, there would always be static electricity. And I'm trying to do these poodles, and everything's... And one day, when I was in the grocery store, picked a can of that up and took it down. I went in the other room because the dog gets frightened when they hear the sound. Some of them do. And I went in the other room and I sprayed my hands with it, not soaked it, just kind of thing. And then I went like that on the brush. And I went in and I started brushing it, and it just went right through them, like that. The hair just separated, and I went right. And after that, talk about stock. Because my shop, I had all carpeting out in the front, and I would go out and spray the Static Guard, wait for 5 or 10 minutes, go out and run a vacuum sweeper, and it would all come up. Because, you get their hair is like little needles, and it'll get stuck into things. And if you give yourself a dose of Static Guard early in the morning, you do well, believe me.
Why don't you try it?
Yes.
Yeah. And if you want to put a little, I call it, on your hands, and give it like that on them, that helps with that static electricity, because they have a down coat. And the down coat is what falls out, and that's what sticks and makes a big mess. They have 2 coats, top coat and down coat. And they're, you got the cutest little face I ever, you just a dear baby, yeah. Look, God loves you. Oh, my
Yeah, he's
Lord.
very devoted.
Oh, my.
They're
So
very,
you're-
very loyal breed.
So your goal for the Echo dogs?
Well, like I said, we always need more fosters. We don't have too many fosters in Pittsburgh anymore.
Yet?
Because they adopt their dogs.
Aw.
So, yeah, we always need more fosters.
No.
Obviously, that is an option
Sure.
when you foster. Obviously, you
Fall in love.
you can adopt your dog if you need to.
You fall in love.
Yeah, I don't have that problem. I adopted Bear, and like I said, I have 3 personal dogs, and then we have fosters that come through. June just came through she just arrived on Saturday, so she's still
Aw.
a work in progress.
How did they just decide that she's going to come here?
Because I had space.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, if we have an open foster home,
Okay.
when we have someone who applies to be a foster, we do have a process. So that they have to apply almost like an adopter, where they have 3 personal references. They need a vet reference, where we call the veterinarian to make sure that any personal dogs are up to date on shots, and that they do heartworm testing. And like I said, we're very big on heartworm testing and prevention, because we treat so many heartworm positive dogs.
It's a shame.
Um,
And that's because of down south, right? We
Well,
have it up here.
Yeah, but we
down-
have winter like
and it
today,
kills
where
the-
it's
the
10
mosquito.
degrees, and
Yeah.
it's not so
Yeah,
prevalent.
it's not as bad. You have to start in the beginning, right? In spring, to give them their
Well,
pill.
we give heartworm
Year-round.
HeartGuard, year round.
It's a year-round treatment.
Oh,
But
okay.
Yeah.
and
Or
part
it
of that,
should
I know
be.
people will say, "Oh, but there's no mosquitoes in December." But HeartGuard is a prevention. You use flea and tick prevention. But flea and tick prevention is not 100%. Nothing's 100%. So if they get bit by by a infected mosquito, it takes several months for it's called microfilaria, for the baby worms to start growing in the bloodstream.
Isn't it amazing?
And the HeartGuard kills them. So, I mean, if you don't give
that's
it
it.
year-round, there is the potential
Yeah.
for heartworm disease
Oh,
to
I-
develop.
I see your point. I really
So,
do.
yeah, even though, like, obviously it's so cold out right now, there's no
Yeah.
mosquitoes.
Well, it makes me feel absolutely wonderful because I was the understanding that they wouldn't get better, with the heart. And
Yeah, no,
that,
you have to treat it. You have to kill them.
and I didn't. And thank you, because you're my angel for today. Truly, that I did not know that. I thought once they, had it, that you had to put them down because they were never going to be able to get better.
No,
And-
it's just expensive. It's very expensive to treat them, and it's work. It's work to keep a dog like this quiet for 3 months. Where they can't.
Yeah.
You have to take them outside to walk. Basically to go potty on a leash, and they're not allowed to run. They're not allowed to play.
Oh.
They're
okay.
restricted activity
Okay.
to try your best to prevent an embolism from happening and killing the dog. So it's painful. It's expensive. It's just so much easier to just give a HeartGuard.
But then you get a nice dog.
Yeah, you do get a nice dog.
And guess what?
Um,
It's time to go.
One more thing about the fosters. If you apply to be a foster home, we don't just send you a dog. Our president does intake, and she contacts our fosters to say that these are the dogs we're looking at, and all our foster homes have the option to either commit or say I'm not interested.
Oh, there. You have a choice.
You do have a choice,
Okay.
and you don't.
All right.
We don't just say this is the dog you're going to get. We want to match up our dogs with
Yeah, the right
dogs
person.
that people can handle, and
Yeah.
we don't want anyone
And
to
fit
be
into their
overwhelmed.
homes.
Yeah,
Fits
yeah.
into their homes
Yeah.
and their other animals and whatnot.
Well, you're very thoughtful and very thorough.
And the dog.
And I
that
thank
she has
you.
traits.
I thank you. I thank you. I thank you for coming and spending time with Let's Talk Tail Waggers. I'm just very impressed with your organization, and saying thank you to you guys is not enough. I just love you, and I hope lots of my people see this show and get ready to do something wonderful for a wonderful dog.
I just want to say that we go to Starbucks in South Park
Yeah,
Shops
that's how
all
I
the
met her.
time. That's where we promote our dogs, and
That's
you
where I
can
met her.
always find our flyers on their bulletin boards down
Yes,
there.
that's where I met them. So, this is a new year, so I'm wishing everyone from the bottom of my heart a happy new year, and I hope everything that you wish in your life this year comes true, and health and welfare of your family is wonderful, and I love you. I just really do. And don't forget, I always cry at the end. Don't forget the Washington Area Humane Society. They have the Pets for U.S. Vets, and that's the organization where if you are a veteran, you can just walk in, show your card, get a dog, and they take care of it for you, health-wise, for a year. It's a lovely organization,
Yes,
too.
they are.
Really. Susie Smith started that a few years ago, and we've gotten over 250 dogs, a forever home, and a veteran has a new best friend. So, like always, I love you. Take care, and thanks from all the tail waggers.